Nathan, where are you? We need to talk, my wife shouted as she walked through the front door. I heard that she was not alone. She knew I was home because my car was in the driveway. I'm upstairs. I'll be down in a minute, I shouted, closing the suitcase lying on the bed. What are you doing at home so early? She asked, entering the bedroom. And why are you packing your suitcase? Oh, a potential client called me. Everything happened suddenly, so I left work to pack my things. I need to catch my flight in a couple of hours. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but this opportunity just presented itself now. I need to act quickly before it's too late. Oh, good. Anyway, I hope you have a few minutes because I really need to talk to you. Certainly, no problem. I have some time, I replied, picking up my suitcase and following her. We went to the kitchen and sat down at the table. Of course, there was another guy there. I recognized him. It was Dave Knowlton, one of the lawyers at the firm she worked for. I grabbed the cup of coffee I had brewed about half an hour ago and sat down. Well, Nathan, there's really no easy way to say this, so I'll just be honest. Dave and I fell in love. I don't love you anymore, and I want a divorce. We have already submitted the documents, and here is your copy. Fine. Well, I really can't fight it. If it's over between us, then it's over. Do you mind if I take a look at them? It's better to just get this all over with quickly. Depends on how this trip goes. I may not have free time for the next few months to sort this out. Maybe Dave should get a notary so we can just get this done before I leave. Wow, Nathan, you are very mature about this. I expected a scandal. I'm sorry I hit you with this so unexpectedly, but it's best to just get it over with and move on. Well, from what you said, trying to fight it would be useless. So let's see what we have here. I took a few minutes to familiarize myself with the division of assets. Okay, I want to make one change. Regarding spousal support. I'm curious, you have a really decent job. Why are you asking for $2,000 a month? Well, we thought about it and calculated it. In fact, you make about 4 times more than I do, so according to the formula the court uses, it comes out to that amount. Fine. The only problem I see is that the situation at my company is about to change significantly, and I really don't want to go back to court later to review everything. How about we just change it to a fair percentage of my income? Let's just do 25%. This will actually give you more based on my last salary and will automatically adjust as it changes. Oh, wow. This is very generous of you and well thought out. Okay, Dave will change it and we'll sign everything. Well, you gave me a great 10 years, so there's no reason to be unfair. Now, what are you asking for 60% of the business? You really don't know anything about how to operate it. I don't want to lose control of it, so how about you just get 49%? In fact, I am the driving force behind it. In fact, to compensate for this, we can change the investment split from you receiving 60% to you receiving 80% of all current investments. After all, I can always regain what I lose. Okay, I think this will work, as long as I can maintain the house. I love this house. I can handle this. In fact, I'll be working so much that I won't have time to go to the beach house. I'm not really a beach person anyway. I'll tell you what. Let's change the wording to say that I will transfer my share of all the property that we now own. I'll probably just buy an apartment somewhere anyway. Less expenses. Nathan, I can't believe how generous you are. Well, as I mentioned, I'll be too busy to really enjoy the property and I'll be able to make enough money to rebuild my portfolio. Okay, now about alimony. Personally, I think you've set the level a little low here, and there's no provision for it to increase as my income increases. At the end of the day, I want my children to be well taken care of. Let's change that to say that 25% of my entire income in this country goes to supporting my children. So this will not only apply to my salary, but also to any other income from my investments here. Plus, since you'll be the caregiver, they should actually be on your insurance. Fine. This sounds reasonable. I'll ask David to connect to Wi-Fi and print new documents. We can sign and notarize them, and then David can pick them up to register them. Thank you, Nathan. You handled this very maturely. I appreciate it. The documents were printed, the notary arrived, and we signed the papers. I took my suitcase and went to the airport. Your unfaithful heart will betray you. Ringtone. This was a month later. My ringtone woke me up while I was dozing on the beach in Cabo. I didn't even have to check the caller ID to know who it was. Hello, Anna. To what do I owe the pleasure of your call? Was I not generous enough? You fucking bastard. I don't know how you did this, but you can't get away with this shit. It's good that I answered the call on speakerphone and didn't press the phone to my ear. Why? What do you mean, honey? You know damn well what I mean. There's a fucking truck in front of this fucking house, and the sheriff's deputy is here with eviction papers. Well, I would guess that the owners of the house need you and your boyfriend to move out before they can move. You signed the house over to me. What do you mean by new owners? I am the owner. Well, technically it's not. What I gave to you was all the property we owned at the time the divorce papers were signed. In fact, we had no property for over 3 months before you gave me those divorce papers. Since your name wasn't on the paperwork, I didn't even need your signature to sell everything. You mean the beach house too? I told you that I don't really like the beach that much. You're a bastard. Where the hell are you anyway? I need to meet with you to discuss signing the documents so that I can become the owner of my share in the company. Yeah, about that. You didn't do it? About 6 months ago. I simply ran the company for the new owners for a salary until they took off. In fact, I stopped working there completely a week before we last spoke. Then that also means no salary, no maintenance. But what about the children? You said you want to take care of the children. No, I said I wanted to take care of my children. Since I am not the biological father of either of them, I have no interest in taking care of them. Perhaps you should talk to Chris and Jerry about supporting their children. DNA is a wonderful thing. Well, at least I have savings and investments. She trailed off as I couldn't hold back my laughter any longer. Let me guess, she groaned. All of that disappeared too. I transferred all this to an offshore account, which I opened as soon as I sold the business. Good luck finding any of these. Let's see what the court says about this. Good luck with that. I gave you everything exactly as it was stated in the documents that you signed and notarized. You received 49% of the business that I owned at the time of signing the documents. You received all the property that we owned at the time the papers were signed. You received your share of my income at the time of signing. Child support is exactly 25% of my income in the United States of America. Just because you never checked to see if I still owned a business or any property or had any income at that time, it doesn't concern me. I never actually said any of this happened. You get exactly what you deserve. What do you mean? I supported you and was your wife for 10 years. I deserve better than nothing. Seriously? You've been cheating on me for at least the last 5 years. As soon as I left, you brought your latest conquest into the house. You're a cheating slut and you don't deserve a damn thing. Oh, and I also filed a lawsuit against your company. I learned that their employee handbook has a small morals clause that prohibits adulterous relationships between co-workers. The video I sent of you two having sex in a conference room should ensure that you both get fired as well. In addition, the ethics committee began investigating him because they somehow obtained a mountain of evidence that he was involved in a sexual relationship with a client while representing her. I understand that because of this, his license may be revoked. That would really suck because it would mean that he wouldn't be able to just move to another law firm or even start his own firm after he got fired. Crap! I need to call David. Don't worry. He won't answer. What do you mean? I was given to understand that he was the victim of a rather brutal robbery. He's probably in the ambulance going to Mercy General right now. Maybe it's time for you to find a new guy. Oh my God! No, not even close. Although the beautiful Latina lying next to me now says the same thing, she usually screams when we are both naked. The call ended shortly after. My Latina beauty woke up from her nap and decided we needed to go back to the enclosed cabin where we could wear less clothes. I arranged this trip for her because she kept me informed about my wife's affairs. She called me earlier that day to let me know that the papers had been filed and they were going to ambush me that evening. Immediately after that, She left the law firm and went home to pack her things. We met at the airport and flew to Cabo together. 2 more days later, we headed to Costa Rica, where there is a large expat community and you can live like a king on the cheap. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.